bit. That Spaceballs movie. I know I keep talking about Spaceballs every time you put it on me. Spaceballs, Spaceballs, Spaceballs. But it was a funny-ass movie. He worked with John Candy. John Candy's the freaking man. Who can say that John Candy's not the man? Planes, trains, and automobiles. Skeet. That's all I can say. Anyway, it ought to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it.
About Lost Highway, which is a film that seems to always, be a point in which people are on the bus or off the bus. And I read it and I got it instantly when I read it, and I couldn't believe that he was coming to me to play this part. I saw it as a person's going through, being a little bit disconnected, compartmentalized within himself about who he was and what he was capable of being, and in a way, a person that couldn't access a lot about what he was projecting or what he's capable of. So, in a way, that was an easy thing to prepare for, because you have to come in not with any agenda, or any kind of. There's more like about listening, and about waiting to hear who you are from somebody who's going to try to tell you who you are, and I think that was exciting to me, and I remember some of the first days of shooting was. David, we shot it near his house. He lives there, and then he has a studio there, and then he bought this other house, and that's where we were. We were shooting. The Fred Medicine house was this house. So, he's coming up with his coffee, and we're starting to shoot. And that whole sense of, that dog. He had that thing in the early hymns. You hear that? What's that? Who the hell owns that dog? And just like, that to me, with all those things are the clues that I was using. Is like, there's something that's irritating to me, and maybe I'm the dog. Maybe it's my own impatience with the fact that I haven't been found out. Maybe it's a lot of things, And then David was mysterious, so the mystery makes everyone feel validated that it's a mystery. But, and that his book, Catching the Big Fish, is the first time I ever really saw it laid out there. He has this book he called Catching the Big Fish, which is kind of about TM and how he's conceived a lot of his ideas. And they're short little pieces. It's like a good book to have in a bathroom, really confounded and then put it down and go. But, there was the part about Lost Highway is where he was talking about O.J. Simpson, and he had never really owned up to that whole thing. Because Fred Matt, here's a guy, he living in the basin, L.A. basin. He's a jazz player. He plays saxophone with kind of a classy dame, and then he's accused of murdering his wife and thrown in prison, and he's going to be killed. And the only way not to be killed is to become a person who could have never killed. So he becomes a garage mechanic in the valley who doesn't know music, and that actually becoming that thing gets him released. So he's changed himself, every molecule of his body. The thing I want to do as an actor, I got to do. I changed into a whole different person and got free, and was amazing for a little while. And then,
until you change back.
And then things start to decay, about that strategy, and then decay and decay and decay, and then all of a sudden the molecules are realigning themselves, and oh fuck, they're there. Oh God, that's a question I wish I could ask or answer, or ask myself. But I think you know, there's certain things I like to watch myself in and certain things I can't watch myself in, and I don't know necessarily. Usually it's because I think that the movie is working in some way, and then sometimes even when the movie isn't working and it's not even a great movie, and somehow I think it's still like a really somehow really fun. And I have to say that there's a couple that are coming out that you haven't seen yet that actually might be the answer to that mystery. I'm so glad to hear you say that, because
this is about Lake Placid.
Lake Placid.
One of her favorites.
It's really it's a movie that was totally panned, you know, when it came out and by the critics and everything.
Not this one.
Oh.
All right, Mark, back in your cage now.
I wondered why we didn't allow critics on the set. But no, I'm glad to hear that there's, because it was, you know, it was an odd tone. And those odd tone movies, you know, where they're kind of two movies in one, it's both a thriller, suspense thing and a comedy, they don't like those movies. They're hard to get good reviews for them.
I don't like those movies, I must say.
Yeah, and another one that I really liked a lot was Zero Effect, and that had the same problem. It was considered like, is it a love story or is it a buddy movie? And it had to be one or the other. And Newsies was the same way, you know. It's terrible music, good lyrics, good book, or great music and terrible book. You know, it was in that period where nobody could come to agreement about certain movies that are hybrids or have a couple things going on. And
it looked like fun. I just didn't, you know, did you have fun doing it?
Well, you know, there was fun things about it.
Yeah.
I think the funnest thing about it that I remember was that, well, they had our trailers parked in, this was in Canada, right on this beautiful reservoir. And then we realized that, my family realized that we could sleep in the trailer overnight and play with all the canoes and boats and stuff that were on the set, you know, because they kind of did the lockdown at the gate. And so we camped out in the trailer and woke up in the morning and canoed around and watched people, everybody kind of drift in to make the movie. And that was a terrible reason to like doing it. But I did like
Betty White.
Oh, Betty White, yes, yeah. Who didn't really, I mean, there's another example of actors should often get out of their own way, because she had said she really was intrigued to work on the script and everything and loved the part, but really it's probably not important to swear. And I remember the director saying, I can't believe that she just said that she doesn't want to swear. That's the whole idea, is this sweet grandmother swears. Says foul language. There's like a sailor out there. And eventually she was willing to do it. But I think she did it both ways. I think she insisted that she do it once with weaker words or less offensive words. She's very polite.
It was good. I was interested the entire time.
Yeah, I think it was very good.
I didn't know if I would be or not.
Yeah.
It was really good. I enjoyed it.
And I just remember as a kid watching Casper and Independence Day and Lake Placid. I've seen a lot of his other movies too, but thinking as a kid, wow, that's cool, you know? Wouldn't it be awesome to be in a movie or do something like that? Bill Pullman, he's just all around, down to earth, great guy.